I've always liked to play with fire.
My name is Romenska. I am certified life coach, and today we're going to talk about an attachment style avoidant and what to do, what tips for him to change his attachment style. Let's go. So the first rule of changes: you cannot change anything you're unconscious of. Obviously, the first thing you have to do is to recognize you have an issue and you want to resolve it. In general, an attachment styles are workaholics who spend their free time in compulsive distraction through things like TV, computer, video games, and fantasy, virtual reality spaces, and in outside world. All of this is designed to prevent them from ever being still and quiet enough to experience their own thoughts and feelings. So they avoid introspection and self-awareness on a level that makes them dismissive of others' complaints and requests to work on their issue. They least likely to seek therapy unless it pertains to treatment for an anxiety or depression. And usually they would say, I'm fine, you have problems. And even the few who do seek therapy don't usually stick with it because it just requires dealing with early trauma and core wounds which they have been suppressing and avoiding their whole life. Usually an avoidant denies that his family was not perfect. They would describe it as beautiful childhood, everything was with lollipops and butterflies, and they are not capable of self-reflection on their childhood and traumatized experiences. Also, there is another issue with an avoidant type, that they find a secure attachment style being boring. This is why they keep ending up with the same type of person. So if you are an avoidant type, the first thing I would suggest you to do is to ask yourself following questions. Do I get in the instant relationship? Am I always on the search of the one, the perfect unicorn? Do I believe that when I meet the right person, we will automatically have perfect relationship without having to work on it? Is this why I abandon every relationship at any sign of conflict? Do I know what a stable relationship looks like? Am I operating based on superficial ideas of romance? Do I find secure people boring? Why do I think that my partner is trying to take away my independence? What triggers cause me to run? Am I dumping people before they are able to dump me? Are my primary caregivers unreliable? Where do my trust issues come from? Those questions will really help you to start at least working on your issues, unless you are not going to answer extremely honestly. So before anything, you have to know with your own experience that new habits change your lifestyle, and as an outcome, it changes your destiny. Be aware of the behavior and accept it. Then understand it. Ask yourself what may have caused my behavior this way. The next step is a bit more tricky. Take notes when you sense yourself becoming avoidant. You need to train yourself to see your old unhealthy habits. Then you need to teach yourself new habits, such as to invite new people, or sharing how uncomfortable you are when you approach the close, when you feel suffocating. Try to express those feelings, wrapping them up in a different way so it's less harmful, but still voicing what you feel. Voicing you need more space for yourself. Saying, hey, I'm not going anywhere, I just need me time. So this person is not making any structures of destruction in his head about what is happening. He's not guessing anything. You're very clear of what you need and what you want. And it's okay to have your own me time. You have to know that it's not okay not to be consistent. It's not okay to ghost your partner for several days and then to appear, and instead of explaining what is going on, just to pretend that nothing happened and to try to start over, or then jump into gaslighting saying, oh, you just made it up, or oh, if you want to have a scandal, then I'm leaving. That is not okay for a relationship. The other trick is that once you detect what really causes a tension in a relationship, like ghosting, like pulling away, like withdrawing, immediately make yourself, force yourself, as if you are going to the gym. Just imagine that crawling probably bring some results, but if you go to the gym once in a week, your body will not change. Yes, it's probably better than not to go at all, but what kind of results do you expect? You don't really expect much results. And if that pattern of behavior of going just once stays the same, then you will not see any changes, and your partner as well will not see any changes in you. So as an avoidant type has this feeling of being forced to be in contact frequently. He absolutely dislikes when somebody is forcing him to contact or to be texting all the time or during the day. When you receive a message, and for you it might be absolutely normal not to respond for hours or sometimes days on a simple message, here's what you can do. Instead of being silent, imagine that you are talking to your boss. You can't ghost your boss. You can't not to reply to your boss for 2-3 days or a lot of hours. What you can do is you can say, hey hon, I am at meeting right now, may I call you back when I'm free, or by the end of the day, or can I text you by the end of the day? And that's about it. And it's a big step because you are already changes this pattern of ghosting. So here's also what is important. When you start new relationship, notify your new partner that you are an avoidant type, that you are willing to work on yourself, and with some patience that is required, you promise to get better at it. You just need a little bit more time and patience. And I believe it's extremely important to let your partner know who you are, because when you disappear for hours or days, or you have a lot of me time, normal people would not even register, or those people who are not aware of attachment style theory, they would just simply think you don't care. They would just simply think, oh, I'm not important, or he doesn't like me that much. So in order to avoid it, this misunderstanding, this tension, because you make another person wonder, and this self-esteem can go down because of you, because of your behavior, because this treatment that you provide for the person can be read as, oh, I'm not good enough. He's still searching, he's still looking for somebody else. Next, by acknowledging that your request for space is about you, not them, you can keep your relationship feeling secure for both of you and the other people in your life. Try using I statement instead of you statements. For example, instead of saying you are needy, say I really appreciate that you care for me. I feel the same way, but in order to feel comfortable, I also feel like I need space. Instead of saying you are too demanding, you can say, I find it hard to open up to others. I know you are kind of trustworthy person, and I'll do my best to open up more. Instead of saying you're so clingy, say, I know you want to talk more often. I feel stressed sometimes when there is a pressure to respond immediately, but I promise I'll get back to you in a few hours. First, attend to your body and its responses. When you feel triggered, as if your attachment system switching into survival mode, notice where the tension lies, place a hand there, breathe into it, and sit down or lean against something for support. Put your hand on the back of a chair and lean against the wall. If you have to, sit down on the ground and fold your legs. Pay attention to something quite literally supporting you, and try to keep your chest and belly open. Then, conjure a visual anchor. Imagine a safe or serene place that is soothing and emotionally grounding for you. You might also create and repeat an affirmative mantra in your head ahead of time. And third, focus on connection, not content. Try to find a way that communication with your partner becomes more compassionate and the connection is reinforced rather than dissolved. Journaling helps you keep track of your progress. Keeping a daily journal of your emotions gives you the chance of understand patterns in your relationship and feelings. This can be a great way to work out your feelings and to provide yourself with the insight in how your attachment style functions on daily basis. In journaling, ask yourself prompts like, how did I express myself to other people today? Do I have any fears about my relationship right now? Why? Be sure to go back and read earlier journal and every week or so, and you can see little by little that you have progressed just because you register those moments, just because you become aware more often of what is going on with you. Another tip is try to confess some weaknesses to people you care about. Going through this fear of being not flawless, that people will reject you just because you are not as perfect as you think people expect you to be. I think that once you start showing from time to time at least your vulnerability, it will definitely help you to come to the conclusion that people love it. We as humans have this compassion. As humans, we truly appreciate when somebody shows, hey, I am just a human. I am vulnerable. I am not afraid of my feelings and of my weaknesses. I am just dealing with them, but I am not pretending to be who I am not, which is this perfect person. Also, on those moments when you feel like you need to withdraw, when you feel like you need to spend that time with yourself, especially when it feels like you need it for a few days, instead of doing that, try to do the opposite and see that there is no threatening cord attached to spending more time with your partner than you think it is. So basically, the idea of all these tips is real action. You can't do just one thing and be proud of yourself because it doesn't really change much. One more time, it's again like going to the gym once a week. Your body will not change because of that, especially if you eat on top a lot of junk. It's exactly the same in relationship. Baby steps when it's hurting relationship won't help much. And I think the worst part here is that the reliance here is on a patience, capacity of a patience of your partner. And it's the saddest part because how long somebody would be in relationship with no stability, with no reassurance, with somebody who is not even sure what he feels. So I think it's absolutely essential to do those steps, forcing yourself as an exercise, as seeing, okay, this relationship and me, I am my project. And for my project, I will do everything to make it happen. I will do my best to be my best because I actually don't even know where my level is. I can go up high. And at the end, what I want to say about an avoidant type as well is that a lot of you guys think that it's better to be alone. I would rather focus on my career. I would rather focus on my other priorities. And here's what I want to say at the end. A lot of you guys as an avoidant type think often, I would rather be off alone. I would rather focus on my career and achieve my goals. But here's the thing. Once you reach the highest top of Kilimanjaro, it could be the most beautiful view. And you will look around to share how beautiful it is, and it's gonna be nobody around. At that moment, you might come to realization that you wish you didn't waste all this time to see this beauty on your own, and somebody could truly share that beauty with you. So before it's too late, start doing the progress. Thank you for watching.
So show me why you're strong.